The loud crash echoed to the empty house as the old hallway lights flickered wildly. The screen of the camera shook in someone's hand, and you could hear heavy breathing like the person was running out of time. On the wall ahead, a pale figure slowly slid into view, white thin, and moving without footsteps. The camera zoomed in by itself, even though no one touched it. Then the second ghost appeared, and then the third. And finally, the fourth one leaned right into lens, its face blank, as if it had no eyes at all. This was the 11th video, the scariest of them all, and right when the figure reached the person holding the camera, the recording cut off. No one knows what happened next. The police found a camera lying in the middle of the hallway hours later, still warm, still recording, but the person holding it was gone. This is the moment that made investigators say these were the 11 scariest videos of ghost encounters ever caught on camera. And this moment is where our story begins. Because these videos, every single one of them, had a dark secret, and the people who filmed them never understood how connected they all were. But to understand how we got to that terrifying hallway and that missing person, we have to go back to the beginning, long before the 11th video was ever recorded. It all started over 30 years ago, with shaky old VHS tape found in a dusty basement in Ohio. A man named Daniel Parker bought a small house there to fix up and sell. One day, while cleaning the basement, he discovered a cardboard box with faded writing on top that said, "Do not watch." Inside was a single VHS tape with no label. Daniel wasn't the type of person who scared easily, so he went upstairs, put it into an old TV player, and pressed play. At first, the footage looked normal. It showed a family recording their living room like they were testing a new camera. A mom, a dad, 2 kids laughing. Nothing strange. But then, in the corner behind them, the curtain moved even though all the windows were closed. Something dark stood behind the family for less than 2 seconds. Daniel paused the video and leaned closer. The shadow looked like a person, but taller, thinner, still, watching. This became the first video in the collection. Daniel showed the tape to the local sheriff, but they didn't take it seriously. So Daniel contacted a group of paranormal investigators who drove down to see it in person. When they replayed the tape, the dark figure behind the family looked even clearer, and one of the investigators swore he saw it move between frames. They told Daniel to keep the tape locked away, but he didn't listen. Instead, he posted a small clip online. That was the moment the world noticed. Soon after this, more and more strange videos began to appear. A night shift security guard in California shared video too, where a pale figure drifted across a hospital hallway even though the building had been closed for years. Another homeowner in Tennessee posted video 3, showing her kitchen drawers opening and closing on their own. A teenager in Florida uploaded video 4, where a mirror in his bedroom showed a second reflection behind him, even though he was alone. These videos spread fast, and people all over the country became obsessed. Then came the really scary ones. A police officer from Michigan accidentally recorded video 5 while checking an empty school at night. His body camera caught something walking behind him, even though no footsteps were heard. A man in Nevada filmed video 6 while exploring an abandoned train station. The lights flickered on and off in a pattern that spelled out a word: leave. And in Colorado, a woman recorded video 7, where her bedroom door slammed shut by itself, and a deep voice whispered her name, even though the room was empty. Each new video felt worse than the last. The encounters became stronger, louder, and closer, but no one connected the dots yet. By the time video 10 appeared, captured by 2 friends exploring an old hotel in Texas, the investigators began to notice something strange. Every video, no matter where it came from, no matter who recorded it, showed the same pale figure appearing in the background, always blurry, always silent, always watching. It was almost like the ghosts traveled through the cameras themselves. Around this time, a young woman named Emily Johnson, who loved researching spooky things, decided to collect all 10 videos in one place. She made a folder on her laptop labeled 11 Scariest Ghost Videos, Research. She didn't know it yet, but this folder would lead her straight into the 11th and final recording, the one from the hallway where the camera was found still recording. Emily lived alone in a small apartment in Chicago. She spent late nights pausing each video, zooming in, comparing details, and trying to figure out what the pale figure was. But the more she watched the videos, the more strange things began happening around her. One night, while she was studying video 3, the one with the kitchen drawers, her own kitchen drawer slid open with a soft squeak. She froze. She lived on the 6th floor. No wind, no earthquakes, nothing that should move a drawer. Another night, her TV turned on by itself and played only static. The next night, she heard tapping on her bedroom walls. 3 taps, always in the same rhythm. Tap, tap, tap. She tried to ignore it, but something inside her said these events were connected. Something in the videos had followed her. Something was getting closer. Emily didn't give up her research. She emailed the investigators who had looked at Daniel's VHS tape, and they agreed to meet her in person. Before going, she wanted to record one last video for her notes. She set up her phone in the hallway, pointed it toward the door, and pressed record. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then the lights flickered. Then they flickered again. And then the pale figure stepped into the hallway, slowly turning its blank face toward the camera. The same figure from all the other 10 videos. The same shape, the same empty eyes. It began walking toward the phone. The door behind it slammed shut by itself. Emily gasped, and right as the figure reached out its long hand toward the camera, Emily stared at the dark phone screen. Her heartbeat pounding so loud it felt like it filled the whole apartment. She didn't understand how the video stopped by itself. She didn't touch anything. And the figure, the same pale figure from the other 10 videos, had been right there in her hallway, moving toward her phone as if it knew she was watching. For a moment, Emily just sat on the floor, hugging her knees, trying not to cry. She wanted to pretend it never happened. She wanted to tell herself it was a trick of the light. But deep down, she already knew this was video 11 happening in real life. Slowly, she picked up her phone and pressed play again, thinking maybe she imagined it. But the video refused to play. The file existed. The thumbnail was there. But when she tapped it, the screen stayed black. She tried again. Still nothing. It was as if something inside the video was blocking her from seeing what happened next. She didn't want to stay in the apartment any longer. The air felt colder. The shadows felt darker. And every time she blinked, she pictured that pale face leaning closer and closer. She grabbed her backpack, her laptop, and the printed notes she had collected on all the other ghost videos. She didn't even bother turning off the lights as she ran out the door. Outside, the night breeze felt better, less heavy, less strange. Emily kept looking over her shoulder, but the hallway behind her stayed empty. She hurried down the stairs and into her car, locking the doors instantly. With shaky fingers, she started the engine and drove toward the investigator's office downtown. She arrived 20 minutes later at an old brick building with a small sign that read Chicago Paranormal Research Group. A man named Dr. Grant Mason, the lead investigator who had studied Daniel's VHS tape, greeted her. He had gray hair, tired eyes, and a calm voice that made Emily feel safer. "You said it's urgent," Dr. Mason said as he unlocked the door. "It is," Emily whispered. "I think something from the videos is following me." Dr. Mason didn't look surprised. Instead, he nodded as if he had been expecting this. Inside, the office smelled like old books and coffee. Charts, maps, and blurry photos of strange shapes on walls covered the desks. Another investigator, Sarah Lee, joined them. She was younger, maybe in her 30s, and carried a notebook filled with scribbles and drawings. Emily placed a laptop on the table and opened the folder labeled 11 Scariest Ghost Videos. Research. She explained how each video, from the shadow in Ohio to the hospital silhouette in California, showed the same pale figure. She showed them freeze frames from multiple clips. Same shape, same posture, same empty white face. Sarah leaned closer. "It's not just the same ghost," she said. "It's getting stronger in each video." Dr. Mason nodded. The first sighting in Ohio was faint, almost transparent. But by the 10th video in Texas, you can see more detail, arms, shoulders, even a head turning. Emily swallowed hard. And now it's in my apartment. That made Sarah stop writing. Dr. Mason folded his hands. You need to tell us everything, he said gently. So Emily took a deep breath and told him about the kitchen drawer sliding open, the tapping on her walls, the TV turning on by itself, and finally, the hallway video that cut to black when the figure reached toward the camera. As she talked, the investigators exchanged glances, worried ones. Dr. Mason finally spoke. There's a pattern we've been studying. Every time the ghost appears in a video, it becomes more connected to whoever filmed it. It's like the camera is a doorway. A doorway? Emily asked. Sarah nodded. A doorway it can step closer through. Emily's stomach twisted. So filming it made it come after me? Not exactly, Dr. Mason said. It comes after curiosity. The more someone studies the videos, the more it notices them. And you spend more hours studying these clips than anyone. Emily felt the room grow colder. Her hands shook. She wanted to stop hearing this, but she needed to understand. So what do I do? She asked quietly. We need to analyze your hallway video, Sarah said. If it captured the figure clearly, we might understand why it appeared now. But when Emily tried playing the file again, it still wouldn't open. Dr. Mason connected her phone to his computer, trying special programs to unlock damaged footage. After several attempts, the video finally responded, but only partially. The first 3 seconds showed her hallway, dim but normal. Then, on the right side of the screen, the light flickered, and a tall white shape began to form. Sarah gasped. Dr. Mason leaned closer. As the shape took form, its blank face slowly turned toward the camera. Even though the video had no sound, the air in the room felt heavy, as if the ghost itself was watching them through the screen. This is clearer than any of the earlier videos, Dr. Mason whispered. But why me? Emily asked. Then Sarah pointed to something on the screen. Look, behind it. Emily squinted. At first, she thought the background was just shadows. But then she saw it. Behind the pale figure stood 10 other figures, each one matching the ghosts from the previous videos. All 11 of them. It's them, Sarah whispered. All the ghost shapes from the other recordings. Emily felt her heart stop. Why are they all together? Dr. Mason didn't answer. His eyes stayed glued to the screen. The video continued until the main figure stepped closer, reaching out, and then the screen glitched. Not a normal glitch. The image distorted into long white lines that stretched across the screen like fingers. Then the computer froze. Then the office lights flickered. Sarah backed away from the monitor. Oh no, not here. Emily stepped closer to Dr. Mason. What's happening? Before he could answer, the hallway outside the office made a loud cracking sound, as if someone had stepped on broken wood. Then another step. Then another. Slow, heavy, careful. The investigators stared at the door. Emily felt the air grow colder and colder, almost hard to breathe. And then the door handle began to turn on its own. Slowly, silently, shaking lightly, as if something on the other side was testing it. Emily took a step back, her eyes wide with fear as the handle clicked again. The door began to open, and the same pale figure from the videos stepped into the room.